Welcome back to another video. I've got a pretty sweet list in Modern today. It's a creativity list that's trying to put Conspiracy Unraveler into play, and then using that to cast Magma, Opus, or Time Stretch. And one of the big um, advantages of playing the Time Stretch is once you cast this, you can collect evidence, exiling the one you just cast to cast something else, and pretty much just win the game on the spot. Um, and yeah, let's get into it. All right, starting off on the draw here. I think this is definitely a keepable hand. Got uh, creativity turn 4 and some interaction for then. Titan doesn't seem like a great matchup though, especially if I can't find any counter magic. Um, so I'm going to be digging for that here. Find a Magma Opus instead. Playing a Mirror Pool. Kind of interesting. Alright, gonna go ahead and start with this. Okay, so there's a Remand. Honestly, I think probably want to keep both of these. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And then keep this on top. Hopefully I'll stay alive long enough to start casting stuff. Okay, so far nothing too crazy from my opponent here. Cast another Preordain. I don't hate Counterspell here, but I do need. I'm gonna need to try and get Magma Opus in the graveyard, and then also um, draw something else to cast with the Unraveler. Um, but I mean, the way it stands, I can't really say no to a Counterspell here. What I can do is hopefully use Remand to get their Titan, which I'm assuming is what they're going for this turn, and then next turn Counterspell plus discard Magma Opus, and then that leaves me into being able to creativity next turn, with hopefully something more to do, but we'll see. So I do get the Titan here. Nice little time walk through Remand. Okay, and I do draw a time stretch too, so this is perfect. Do another one as well. So unfortunately, I've only got 5 mana value in the yard plus 3 off creativity, which is 8, but I need 10. So I can't quite just go for it now, but I should be pretty well set up to just counterspell their play, cycle this Magma Opus, and then go from there. They're just not going to play anything. Seems like a kind of a weird one. Let me just double check that Mirror Pool doesn't do anything crazy. Doesn't look like it. Okay, so I guess I probably do want a Dwarven Mine here, so let me just grab that. And no reason to tap out of Counterspell, so I'm not going to tap out of it. My opponent is probably kind of surprised right now. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go for it. Ah, okay. So I've got Otawara. That's actually pretty bad. Pretty bad for me. Well, if I don't die this turn, then I can go for it again. Pretty unfortunate for them to have Otawara there. I think that's like kind of the only card that they could have that would stop me from going off. Okay, so I'm assuming we're going for Slayer's Stronghold here. So I'll be taking 8, but I don't think they should be able to do anything more than that. They still do have a land drop that they could make. But they don't have 2 amulets, so when they, I guess, well, actually, so they could, with this extra land drop that they have, potentially go bounce land and then get the double strike land, which would let them attack for 16. But it still doesn't kill me. So we'll see what they go for here. If they're going to go for the double strike, or they're going to go for a Dryad Valakut kill. I think they would. I think if they're going for that, they would probably need to have Dryad in hand. Um, I think yeah, there's not. I don't think there's really a way that they could get around that otherwise. Okay, so they've got. They're just getting 2 growth chambers. So they must have something in hand that they're trying to play. Maybe another Titan. Ah, ring. Okay. A ring is awkward. Does mean that these time stretches are not going to do too much. Um, okay, yeah, that's a good draw for sure. I think it's very likely that they have Beseiju in hand, um, which would stop this creativity if they had or if I was only able to target the treasure token. But since that's not the case, I'm able to kind of go off here. Let's take 4 turns. Um, well, just rethinking things. So I've got 2 turns. Um, actually, let me hold off for a second. I can always cast the time stretch later. Okay, so another time stretch. Okay, let's cast the Lorien Revealed. I'm kind of looking for Magma Opus here. Okay, there's 2 Magma Opuses. Um, because yeah, the Magma Opuses are what's going to let me kill this Titan, tap down their mana. So let's take one more turn. See what goes here. Got a preordain. I think with two Magma Opuses, I can tap down all of the green bounce lands and kill the Titan, and also have counterspell up. So, um, yeah, I think I'm just gonna go for that. Um, and then probably just discard this preordain. Okay, so on their upkeep, let's deal 4 here. Tap, tap, and go with that. Then we got Exile Time Stretch, Magma Opus. What, do another Magma Opus? Okay. Cast that. Tap, tap. Exile these. Wow. This is awesome. And I'm not even actually casting everything that I could, because I could also have taken a bunch of extra turns with these time stretches. So yeah, let's tap into the rest of your mana and also tap down the ring. And my opponent scoops it up. Great start to the league here. Okay, so I'm gonna bring in Ashiok. Um, I can bring in counterspells and stern scoldings. Um, Probably cutting bolts. Not very good. Um, forces forces are okay. Like they're good against like Amulet the card, but not really good against um, too much else. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, is it worth it to stop Amulet the card? The answer is probably yeah. Um, then let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead. Probably trim down on a couple of fables here. Just seems like a bit slow, and I'm probably gonna be trying to hold up mana for a lot of the game here. This hand seems fine. Nothing too crazy, but I mean I do have like preordained into Remand, and I just have this mirror pool here. Just just seems a little weird to me, but I'm not a amulet player, so if you are, maybe let me know in the comments and why it's actually better than I think. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep one of the lands, just guarantee that I hit my fourth defense grid. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good against me. Um, I think I'm gonna go ahead and try to cycle this Magma Opus. That will let me Stern Scolding next turn, potentially. If my opponent would like to Beseiju my treasure token, I would be ecstatic. Okay, so this lets me leave up Stern Scolding this turn and Remand next turn. Okay, I got an amulet. Amulet and 4 mana. Okay, and there is a Dryad. So I'm gonna go ahead and counter this. Hopefully this means that a Titan won't be coming down this turn, but you know, the decks are good at what they do. Okay, creativity is a really good draw here. I mean, if um, if I can untap, I'll be able to cast a time stretch. They do have double amulet though, and I am down to 13, so yeah, looking like if they do have a Titan, then it should be a pretty easy win for them. Go with a Dryad first, but that doesn't mean much. Could easily still have the Titan. Okay, they do have Titan, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pack this one in. Pretty easy for them to win from that spot. Let's see. I think on the play, I'd rather have Spell Pierces. Um, let's see. Spell Pierces over what is the question? I think maybe just trim down some preordains. Run it like this. Got a lot of counter spells now. And not many lands apparently. Um, hmm. So with this hand, I think I just have to mull this hand. The single land is it's just too bad. I'll keep this bottom, and yeah, see how it goes from here. Okay, so that's going to the graveyard. Amulet, turn 1. Yeah, I think I'll just do this. I can cycle Lorien revealed to grab a Steam Vents, and then next turn hold up Counterspell. So glad to have a Spell Pierce for that. And I'm going to go ahead, do the island cycling. Okay. I think with this draw, I'm gonna just go shields down for a turn here. I don't think they can cast a Titan, or you know they would need like multiple different cards to cast a Titan, and so I don't think that it's gonna get a better. I'm gonna get a better opportunity to cast a Fable here. Okay, so they've got a ring. Ring is good, but they're still a little constrained on mana, and This does open up the opportunity. I'm gonna cycle this Thunderous Falls. Okay, I drew a Dwarven Mine. So I mean, I can creativity this turn, but I don't have anything to cast off of it. So I'm gonna wait this turn. Hopefully be able to draw something next turn. And unfortunately, I did have to board out, some of my Magma Opuses that would be good draws here, but um, I can't board in everything. Okay, Force of Negation is fine. Gonna go ahead and attack here. See if they've got any effects. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna pass again. I've got Force and Counterspell up, and I'm a bit worried with all the mana. Yeah, that they'd have Beseiju or something. But this is, I mean, I get a Thundering Falls. Okay, I'm gonna Graveyard, kind of tipping my hand here, but I mean, whether they know about it or not, I don't think that it really matters. And I can't really afford to be drawing more creativities here when I really need a Magma Opus or a Time Stretch. Okay, so they've got Gardens. Gonna be discarding. Scalding Tarn. Unfortunately not very good here. So let's see. I could go. I could go Creativity X2, and that would get me. So that would leave me with 3 mana left up. But it would give me potentially lethal next turn. Yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be the play here. Yeah, so I can do this. I'll have I'll have 3 mana straight up, and then the I can cast I can cast my other counterspell using the collect evidence. So and I think that will just have to be good enough. Could still have Otawara here. Looks like they do. But that's okay. I mean, they're not making a construct here. And then next turn I can probably going to, even if I have to cast a counterspell, probably try to do it off the treasures. And then that way I can um, grab a Thundering Falls to surveil, try to hit something good. And they're gonna have kind of an insane amount of mana, but you know, it's going to be. I'm just gonna let this resolve. The uh, I do have a lot of good top decks, so if I can potentially survive through this turn, then I can draw Lorien Revealed, Magma Opus, Time Stretch, any of those. All right. I will be countering that. Let's see what else they've got. Dryad into second Titan would be just game, I think. Do they have the second Titan in hand, or do they need to pact for it? Because that's kind of my only hope, is that they just need a pact for Titan here. Looks like they've just got it. Um, yeah, I don't think that there's a way out of this, but I'll since this game 3, I'll make him show me. I think with probably the biggest way is maybe if they have the haste land in hand. But we'll see. Okay, so here's the mirror pool coming into play, and it creates a copy of Primeval Titan. And then yeah, so copy the Primeval Titan. Wow, so I guess I wonder if it would have actually mattered um, if I forced that fourth amulet they played. I kind of let that go because I was assuming that it wouldn't matter. But I think the way this turn played out, I think they did need all like pretty much all the mana they had. So yeah, I mean it's a punt, but I'll let them get this one and move on to round 2. All right, we're back for round 2. Let's see what we've got here. I think this is a keep. Got a Bolt, Faith of Salvaging, Prismari Command. Start out with Thundering Falls. Magma Opus, straight to the graveyard. Kind of an underrated part of Surveil Lands in this deck is just, putting extra mana values directly into the graveyard. And, with three different or three Surveil Lands in the deck, it's pretty easy to hit that as well. Okay, so my opponent surveilled a Bowmasters to the yard. I think I'm gonna go ahead and cast this. They probably have a second Bowmasters in hand, unless they were okay. Maybe they were just going hard for another land or something. Um, So yeah, so looks like they didn't have it, which is good. Um, in that case, I think I'm just gonna bin this bolt. Okay, no untapped land, and unfortunately drew the Conspiracy Unraveler. But I'm gonna go ahead and play this. There's a decent chance that I don't want to cycle the Lorien reveal just yet. But I think it'll probably depend on what my opponent has here. So I think if it's kind of another draw go, then I could definitely see just getting a surveil, my last surveil land, and then being able to hold up Prismari Command for their turn. Okay, so yeah, it looks like they're just stuck on lands. In which case, I'm pretty happy with just building out my mana. And they have to actually discard down to hand size. Discards Flame of Enora. So it looks like maybe a Wizards type of Grixis control list. So I get to surveil here. I'll keep a Fable. I would be hard to believe that they don't have any sort of counter magic or something. So not really looking too much into a combo here. It'd be nice to get some pressure down with the Fable. Okay. Got Snapcaster. Going to do that. Kill the Snapcaster, draw 2. Okay. I think I'm just going to go ahead and discard this Steam Vents. Get a Dwarf. Let's see if they have a counterspell. Maybe a Jarn in the lock here. Yep, there's a Jarn in the lock. Okay. Fair enough. We know that their hand is a lot of non-land, so makes sense that they have permission spells. Still haven't seen a creativity. Not that I necessarily think it would have resolved, but kind of crazy that it's been this long without seeing one. Okay. So they found a third lane, but still stuck after that. Do Preordain. Okay, I found a counterspell of my own. I'm gonna keep that. Once I do find the creativity, then this will help me actually get to resolve it. Let's see here. Archmage's Charm. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and use this here. Since they're stuck on 3 lands, I don't really want them to draw their way out of it. And I'm kind of getting close to just hard casting this Magma Opus. Okay, and I drew a remand anyway, so getting a getting another counter spell to force through. Okay, Just a lightning bolt. That's okay. I'm not really pressed about that. I've still got, 3 more Dwarven Mines in the deck, plus this Magma Opus in hand. Am I going to cast Lorien Revealed here? I think so. See if they can counter this. Okay, they got a counter spell. Okay, it's still just stuck on lands. Kind of crazy. They're 22 cards in. Okay, so now, I mean, any land left in my deck would let me Magma Opus. I'm gonna let this resolve because I don't really want to have to worry about that for a Scalding Tarn, and I don't really care about the 3/2 body. Okay, so they find a 4th land. Okay, Conspiracy Unraveler is also castable. I'm gonna go ahead and hold on, just chill for a little bit. Hopefully I can get them to tap down, or if I draw a land, I can go like end of their turn Magma Opus into on my turn Conspiracy Unraveler. Something along those lines. Okay. There's the Arid Mesa. That will let me cast a Magma Opus here. They're just bolting me. Okay. Lorien Revealed. To grab a land. Grabs the Thundering Falls. Sure. Okay, so I'm going to start by grabbing 2 Dwarven Mines. And then trying to block. Because I think this will hopefully force their hand to do something to stop me. And then kind of leave me open to just comboing. Okay, so it goes for a Fatal Push here. It's okay. I'm just going to go ahead and cast this now. That, I do get to save the Dwarf token if this resolves. And then, yeah, I mean, they basically have to counter this if they have a counter spell. They do. Okay. Just hardcast Conspiracy Unraveler. Not really where I thought I'd be with this deck. Time stretch. See if they've got a Force of Negation. They do not. All right. Kind of a weird game with my opponent being stuck on lands for so long, but obviously turned out pretty well. Yeah, so basically just gonna be bringing in all of my counter spells here. Gonna be trimming on Magma Opus. And let's see. I think honestly just cutting these as well. Um, Go down on bolts, and then maybe trim a Fable and a Preordain. Going a lot more counter heavy in this matchup, and I think it's going to come down to kind of a similar situation where, you know, I'm trying to force them to tap out so that I can play something on my turn. Um, yeah, I don't hate this. I mean, it's got a lot of lands, but I don't expect much to be happening in the first few turns anyway, so just hitting my lands drops sounds pretty good. Start with a Thundering Falls. Okay. The sixth land I will graveyard. Okay. Just passing turn. Probably going to be a lot of that. Buckle up for a fast-paced draw go. Okay, this time they do have their third land on time, but notably no red. So Flame of Anor is not a thing. Okay, so they got a Tidebinder here. That's annoying. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, well, I do have more lands where that came from. Drawing Creativity is nice. Kind of playing into another Tidebinder here, but we'll see if they have it. Okay. Thankfully, they do not. Okay, Time Stretch in the graveyard is actually huge. I think I'm just going to go ahead and grab my last Thundering Falls too. Guess I should have done that before I surveilled, but ended up working out pretty well. Surveil. Another Creativity, probably worth keeping. I think there's a good chance that this one will not resolve. Okay, so far my opponent has just has this Tidebinder. Do have a Thoughtseize. I'll let him take a peek, assuming they're probably just going to take Creativity here. Which does hopefully mean that they might be comfortable tapping. Although I guess they do know about the remand. Okay, so they just take the remand. All right. So I think I'm just gonna preordain here. They obviously know about Creativity. Okay, Spell Pierce is a good pickup. That would let me potentially Creativity next turn. This Tidebinder is killing me. 3 damage a turn is nothing to scoff at. Let's see, do they have any plays? Okay, that makes it a little bit more awkward. Oh man, another Creativity. Well, I think in this case, I'm just gonna start casting things. They did find their third blue too, so any uh, Archmage's charms are also online now. So, if I can get them to use an Archmage's charm, like countering a spell, like first of all, obviously that's Spell Pierce would take care of it, but then that's also not something that they're going to use to draw 2 cards end of turn. Okay, it looks like they're considering casting the Archmage's charm. I wonder if they're thinking about just stealing the token. It's kind of juicy. It would be hard to resist. Yeah. But I've got a Spell Pierce. Let's see if they've got a Force. No Force. Okay. Nice. Got a nice 2-0 against Gross's Control. It seems like it could be a tough matchup, but seemed to line up pretty well against my opponent's draws there. So on to round 3. All right, round 3 coming up here with a Gigantha revealed, and on the draw, I think this is probably a mulligan. The Faithless Salvaging is good with these time stretches, but I think it just feels a bit too slow, I think. Okay, well now here's the very similar hand, but just worse. But on 6 I'll keep it and pray to Faithless Salvaging to get me out of this. Okay, so up against Domain Zoo, the turn 1 Ragavan, and I can't cast my Bolt, so this is gonna get a hit in, and be very awkward if they have a Scion. Well, Magma Opus is not castable. Fetching out a basic forest is kind of interesting. Okay, so no Scion, but they do have a Kavu. Kavu could be kind of awkward for me, because I am kind of slowly building up my graveyard. And the Kavu kind of puts a stop to that. But I do get to kill this Ragavan, take 5 down to 13. Another Kavu. Okay, and another Ragavan. Okay, so I'm looking pretty dead here. I need to find a land. And I found another Magma Opus. Okay, so taking 12. So pretty much anything is lethal, and they've got 2 more draws to find it too. Okay, well, that was just a brutal game. Yeah, bringing these guys in. I think. Probably not. Probably not Brotherhood's End. And then I think. Let's see. Probably taking out these and then maybe bringing in, especially on the play, a Trimba Prismatic Command and a Magma Opus. Just bring in some hard counters that can actually keep the board clear, because that's kind of my only real answer to a a Scion with Leyline out is just to counter it. But yeah, this hand looks pretty solid. One of the reasons I'm playing only one Heat out of the board is I'm just not confident in my ability to get Domain very easily, or not Domain, sorry, Delirium. Um, I'm not playing really artifacts or anything like that, so it can be a bit awkward, but I figured the one of out of the board is good enough to have. Okay, if they've got a Scion, then it's going to resolve. Hopefully, if it's a Kavu or I mean basically any other creature, then I can kill that. But the Scion I can't answer. Oh, and they actually don't have a second land. That's a big game for me. Um, okay, I'm pretty happy with a Remand on top. So if they do find their land, I'm assuming they probably have to have a 2-mana play, right? Right? Like, why would you keep a 1-lander without without a 2-mana play? You don't have a 1-mana or a 2-mana play? Very interesting. Okay, so Dwarven Mine is good. That means that a creativity is online. I'm going to keep this Fable on top because next turn I can play that and hold up Remand. Okay, tap for green and then fetch. And then Nishoba Brawler. Yeah, I'm going to let that one resolve because I can just bolt it. So yeah, feeling pretty good here. Don't have, I mean, next turn I'll be able to loot. Might just ditch this bolt. Okay, so Scion gets remanded. Okay, and into counterspell is really nice. And they have to discard because their remand went back to hand. Oh man. Okay, so I'm gonna discard just bolt here. Once yeah, I think I'll be fine. Um yeah, I mean Lorien Revealed is not a bad pickup. I'm gaining mana off of this shaman, so it won't be long before I can just cast Lorien Revealed and I'll hold up a counterspell. Remand that again. Make you discard another card. When Remand is good, it's so good. It's like actually crazy. They got a Reprieve. Interesting. I'm gonna go for Preordain because it digs. Okay, yeah. I guess I can do this post combat. And get 2 Conspiracy Unravelers into play. And that's game. Nice. Glad to pick up a game there. Um, kind of just surprised a bit to see Reprieve in their deck. But I guess it does. It is a great card when when you've got a clock out and you're just attacking for 4 or 5 a turn. So don't hate it for sure. Um, Now this is a very interesting hand. So I've got a couple of 1 mana pieces of interaction. I've got a counter spell. Um, I think I'm gonna keep it. I've got. I mean, it's the classic. Like, yeah, it's a bad hand, but it's got all the non-lands that I want. Okay, so Wild Nacatl. A Nacatl, I think I'm just gonna let that. I'm just gonna take that hit and then try to surveil into a second land here. Okay, so going for Sacred Foundry. Notably does not have a swamp. Okay. Thundering Falls, don't fail me now. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Love to see that. Gonna go ahead and kill that. Don't know that I'm gonna be able to just take this hit again. Yeah, I think I'm gonna. Unfortunately, shock to try to kill this because I want to be able to leave out Counterspell next turn. Um, and unless I draw land, I'm not going to be able to currently. Okay, Fable of the Mirror Breaker is pretty terrible in this spot. Taking another 3. And okay, just puts Gigantha in the hand. It doesn't seem like they have too much. Dwarven Mine. It is a third land, so I'm happy to see it. Now, Creativity is online, although I don't have nearly enough mana value in the graveyard yet. Nothing yet. Okay, well, I guess I kind of have to go for Fable here. I think there's a good chance I'm just chumping with the token. But also seems likely that they have a binding or something. Okay. Okay, Bolt Me probably means they have like Third Bolt or just a Tribal Flames. Ah. Okay, well, dropping to 1 and 2. Kind of a rough match there. But try to bounce back for the last 2. All right. Going into round 4, and this hand is looking pretty good. We've got pretty much all I could want. Okay, looks like I'm up against Tron. I think I'm just gonna Thundering Falls here. Probably looking mostly for a remand in this spot. So really, time stretch into the graveyard is nice. Means I'm guaranteed to be able to creativity whenever I get up to that spot. Okay, Urza Saga means no turn 3 Tron. Okay, Lightning Bolt looks like maybe a like colorless Eldrazi Tron type of variant. Um, don't really care too much about the Chalice on 1 with this deck. Okay, so yeah, so it looks like probably they're gonna get Tron next turn. I'm gonna hold these Magma Opuses. I guess I probably should have cycled this Lorien Revealed. Um, but I'm gonna hold these because I can, once I creativity, I should be able to cast both. Because I can cast one off just the time stretch, and then the creativity plus the first Magma Opus gives me enough to cast the second. Okay, so they're gonna have 5 mana. Let's see, do they have Karn? Or the One Ring? Okay. Okay, I think I should be able to win here. Because I can creativity and then just Magma Opus to tap everything that all of their permanents on their next upkeep. And then attack for lethal the turn after. So let's go with Thundering Falls here. Fable, I'll just put that into the graveyard. Drew another one anyway. And there we go. So just go to their upkeep. And even just going to do this in response to the ring trigger so that I'm assuming they're going to tap it in response. Then they take an extra damage. So deal 4 to you. Tap, tap. Exile time stretch. Magma Opus? How does my opponent feel about that? Okay. And yes, we've had first Magma Opus, but what about second Magma Opus? Okay, there we go. So the most mana that they can have is 3 this turn if they have another tower, which means they can't cast another ring, can't even cast a Karn. Only if basically they would have to have like main deck map, which I actually just drew an answer to right here. So yeah. Okay, got a mine. Can you do anything? Nope. Okay. Nice. On to game. Game 2. All right. So probably bringing in these guys, boarding out bolts. Let's see. I've got 8 currently that I want to bring in. I could see Ashiok just not being worth it on the draw here. It's going to be at its best up against the expedition maps, and I think my other counter magic is going to be better suited to deal with what's going on. Okay, yeah, I mean this is a good hand too. Nice thing with Lorien Revealed is once I cycle both of these, I actually get enough evidence in the graveyard to cast stuff. I think with two Lorien reveals already, I'm gonna just mill that. A bit awkward that I can't leave a counterspell and Lorien revealed, and then also like I have to use this fetch land here to get a blue source. So I won't be able to fetch out like a Dwarven Mine, but yeah, I guess I have to counter that. Assuming that's probably going to be going after my creativities. Do they have? Okay, they have Thought-Knots here. So it is just Eldrazi Tron. Assuming they're taking the creativity here. Does set me back a decent amount. Okay, but drawing a Wooded Foothills is nice. It's kind of an awkward spot because I kind of want to Lorien reveal before I preordain, but I also want to be able to preordain into a counterspell. So I think I'm going to go for that. It's really only a problem if I scribe both to the top, which is definitely not the case here. I've already got another, like this fetchling can get a Dwarven Mine, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. Okay, play this, hold up, spell pierce. I don't know how much that will matter, but if they go for like an Ugin here, okay, I'll let them take their pick. Don't really have anything exciting, so okay. They pick the Magma Opus and Ratchet Bomb, sure. That's good against a dwarf token. So let's do that. I'm gonna hold this for now, and then could potentially try to hardcast. Don't like putting the last Surveil into the yard, but don't really want to draw it either, so. With this Goblin Shaman down. Okay, so just go ahead and dismember that. Looks like they're going to put me down to 5. Gonna be tough to get out of this one for sure. Think it will be probably going to game 3 here. So I can't creativity next turn because of the Ratchet Bomb. But I am also just dying. So gonna discard these 2. Okay. Well, that's not very helpful. I can draw another preordain, but what does that get me? I don't really think that there's, guess really not much of anything that can save me here, huh? Trying to think through everything that's left in my deck. I guess I'm just gonna bottom that and then concede. Yeah, I think in that spot there's really nothing. So I'm gonna bring in Flame Slash. Um, Probably trim down a Magma Opus to make room for it. I could see boarding in Hercule's Recall too. I don't know if that's too cute. They do have a lot of artifacts. Um, you know what? I'll do it. On the play, I can even snag an expedition map with it and just slow them down. Um, Kind of a weird hand, but I'm gonna keep. I've got this semi-tapped land to then preordain turn 2. Hopefully hit a land for Fable on 3. See what their star's looking like. Okay, they do have the expedition map. Have steam vents. Okay. Okay. I probably want both of these. Um, yeah. We'll see what their turn likes, because if they have, okay, so they do have turn 3 Tron. Kind of unfortunate again. Um, but I can preordain here and hold up a remand. I guess just keep a second one. Hopefully these remands will lead me to the promised land. Okay. Stone Brain. I'm gonna let them do it. You know, if they, good on them if they name Conspiracy Unraveler, to be honest. But they might just name Creativity. Yeah. And you know, it's gonna be a lot harder to win without Creativity, but not impossible. I've definitely hardcast the Unraveler before, and even hardcast Magma Opus. So if I can get to that point, then it I can do it. Basilisk Collar. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I drew a wooded foothills. I think I'm just gonna chill for now. If they don't do anything this turn, then I can get a surveil. Okay. I will remand that. And I will remand that. Grab a Dwarven Mine. No creativities in the deck, but still fighting. Okay. Get to cast a Fable here. I mean, I'm up to 5 mana with 6 in hand. 6 land in hand, plus a Goblin Shaman to attack with, although I think my treasures are probably going to be useless since they have Karn in hand. But I'm rapidly approaching hardcast Unraveler territory. Okay, well, that does put a damper on things. I'm assuming they're going to go after Conspiracy Unraveler now since they've seen my deck. Yep. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, this game just got a little bit harder. By a little, I mean a lot. Um, are they? Oh, they're casting Karn. They did see my Spell Pierce, right? Well, and that feels great to get a good use out of that. Okay, and then dismember the Goblin. I mean, this turn I'm going to be able to discard both of these time stretches. It's not nothing. Graveyard of Scouting Tarn. I think I'm going to be... Okay. I think that is most likely getting hard cast. Okay. I'm doing my thing. It's going to be kind of an insane game to win. But here I am, attacking. Okay, so land into 8 mana, so Ugin? Or just a big ballista, sure. Yeah, that's getting countered. Okay. I think I'm probably just keeping both these. Or yeah, like or all 3 of my cards here. Gonna be hard casting Florian revealed, and then I still have Force up to, if I need it. Okay, and I mean I drew Magma Opus, which I can cast now next turn. So, and I've got Prismari Command, which I can actually cast, like actually now. I even got the reflection trick. Okay, drew something. Expedition map. I think I let that resolve. I think, assuming you're grabbing a saga, and then there, it's going to be a couple, definitely this turn and probably next turn before it does anything. And I guess I just hardcast Force here. Oh, well, 1 point short of just killing them with. Oh wait, no. Wait, if I. Oh no, because I need to attack first to get the land for the Magma Opus. Um, so I guess I'm just going to do this. Then I have Force of Negation, Prismari Command, Magma Opus, and the Reflection combo all up for next turn. See what they drew. It's another Karn. And I think that's game. Wow. That's actually so nuts. I've a Creativity Unraveler combo deck. Creativity and Unraveler both exiled and still getting it done. Yeah, that's nuts. That's so crazy. Oh man, GG's. All right, let's see if I can go for the treasure chest. Go on to round 5. Okay, back for round 5. I think this is a keep. You know, not the greatest hand or anything, but it does what it do. All right, so let's see what my opponent does. Turn 1. Just a Spider Canal pass. So maybe a Murktide, something like that. Yeah, I'll keep a third land. Okay, they also have Thundering Falls. Respect. Okay, Expressive Iteration is binned. Alright, well, I will get another Thundering Falls. I'll keep a Preordain, yeah. Yeah, I guess I should play around Spell Pierce, huh? Okay. Don't need third Lightning Bolt, but I will take a remand. Okay. Very riveting gameplay here. Grab a third Thundering Falls. I'll keep a fourth land. Somebody's gonna have to do something eventually. It might be me cycling this Magma Opus. They've also got Preordain. See if they find what they need. Find something that they feel comfortable with casting at the very least. So they put both on top and then just played a tap land. Okay. Probably just grabbing Stevens, play this tapped. And then, I mean, next turn I can go Fable into Remand. The funny thing is, my opponent has no clue what else is going on here. They probably just look like, oh, it's probably just a weird mirror or maybe a wizard's build. And I'm sitting here with a Magma Opus and Conspiracy Unraveler in hand. Okay. Faithless Salvaging. I mean, I think I'm just gonna wait. Like, with having zero pressure from my opponent, like I just don't really care too much. I can Faithless Salvaging. End of turn. And this is the point where they start to question themselves. Okay, so Spell Snare. Yep. Another Remand. Yeah, I guess I'll pass one more time. See what I can do here. And a Murktide coming down. Just a Ragavan. Yeah. It's bound to happen eventually. So let's see if I can provoke a counterspell. Nope. And a Dragon Raid Channeler. Yeah, so this looks like just solid. Is it Murktide? Let's go ahead and bolt that. Would you like to cast a counterspell here? Indeed. Okay, how about how would you feel if I remand that? Do you have a Spell Pierce? Doesn't look like it. Looks like just a bolt to get the extra surveil, sure. And Unholy Heat to the graveyard. Okay, so things happened. I can cast a Fable now. Unless they have a force. I mean, if they force, I'm probably remanding. If they want to exile another card out of their hand, then I'm pretty happy with that. I'm kind of shields down here if they uh, have a Murktide. It's gonna be a big boy. It is a big boy, an 8/8. And I know they've got a counterspell. I will use the ability. A little bit weird here, but I think I'm going to keep this Conspiracy Unraveler. Since I can cast it next turn. Or actually, I can cast it this turn. But I don't think I will. Okay, drew a counterspell. That's nice. Go for a Fable. Okay, so they allow that to resolve as well. Okay, so I'm getting smacked for 8 here. I've got a bobble. If I'm drawing creativity, they're gonna know. Okay, just drew a Dwarven Mine. So I guess I have to discard the Unraveler at this point. Since I know they got a counterspell. Okay, just drew several Preordains. Don't want either of these. Don't really want that either. Okay. Digging pretty deep to still not find anything and die. So that's cool. Yep. Yeah, the Murktide is pretty brutal there. Um, let's see. Probably want Unholy Heat and I guess Flame Slash as well. I think this is finally an Ashiok matchup. Trim down. Trim. Actually, I'm probably okay with just bolts here, and then kind of trim down on those. All right. Yeah, I mean, pretty unexciting hand, but I can surveil a bunch. I've got answers for the first few turns, and I can even potentially hardcast a Lorien Revealed later. Okay. Doing the bobble trick. Yeah, then gonna graveyard that one. Another Lorien Revealed. A little bit awkward. Okay, just a hardcast Ragavan. Kind of interesting. I think I'm gonna wait till their turn to do anything about it. Oh, wait, let me uncycle this first to make sure that. Okay, kind of getting rid of all of my fetchables with Lorien Revealed, but yeah, I kind of want them if they do want to, if they do have a spell pierce or something they're trying to use to save the Ragavan, then want them to use the mana for this turn and not that last turn. A counterspell, I'll spell pierce that. And then yeah, if they spell pierce this, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and okay, so I got Flusterstorm, sure. I think I'm just not gonna fetch this turn. Then I can next turn I can play Steam Vents, fetch up a Dwarven Mine, and then just block the Ragavan that way. And actually, if I draw a creativity, then I can just win the game here. Well, not really win the game because I don't really have much to cast, but I would be able to get it out. Okay, well, Conspiracy Unraveler is not the same. So I have one more Thundering Falls that I can get with Lorien Revealed here. And that's it. Okay. Okay. I think I'm gonna go ahead and try to counter this. Really don't want to take too much more damage from this Ragavan. Okay, now they've got the Spell Pierce. Yeah. Pretty good. So they flip a creativity. My last island. Found a Spell Pierce. A Force of Negation on top. Gonna bottom the Force. Not really helpful in this situation when I'm just losing to the Ragavan. I guess I could have kept it on top for a Ragavan flip. Oh wow, and then I just give them Ashiok too? No way. Oh, that's so brutal. Oh man, I really should have. I really should have kept that force negation on top, I guess. Oh man, and then they have a Murktide on top of that. Okay, well actually, I guess I just never had a chance in this game. Uh, yeah, Rugvan can be pretty brutal when he wants to be. That's supposed to be my move. Oh, are they gonna cast it? You better do it. Yes. The Conspiracy Unraveler off of Ragavan. I love to see it, even though it is painful to see my boy on the other side of the table. Uh, I love to see it. All right, I'm just gonna die. So unfortunate to just get a 2-3 out of that. But I mean the deck is really sweet, and I think something that um, I honestly was not expecting to be as good as it is, which is, I don't think this is, taking over the modern meta or even replacing the other creativity decks by any stretch, but just getting to cast out your Conspiracy Unravelers and Magma Opus your opponents out of the game. Even that there I had that match against Tron where I had no creativities and no Unravelers in the deck, and just hardcast Magma Opus for the win. You know, it's a great feeling. Um, and definitely a blast to play. So yeah, let me know if you like this video, and I'll see you guys next time.